Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I thought I would hop on here and tell you about my recent adventures. I recently made a trek to a couple of sites of note around the southeast in the past few days. I went to Plains, Georgia, to the Jimmy Carter National Historic Site, to Andersonville, Georgia, and the Andersonville National Historic Site. And on my way back, I stopped in Warm Springs, Georgia, at Roosevelt State Park. So, a little about these places. I stayed in Americus, Georgia, because Americus is pretty much the midway point between Plains and Andersonville. Um, Plains, of course, is the hometown of former President Jimmy Carter, the 39th President of the United States of America. Um, Carter was born in Plains, grew up in nearby Archery, but is most associated with Plains. He lives there currently uh, with his wife, the former First Lady of the United States, Miss Rosalind Carter. Um, so they both still live there. At the time, and still currently, the Plains High School, which serves the former Plains High School, which serves as the visitor center um, and a museum of sorts, was closed. But you could take pictures outside. And there's a couple of little places off the beaten path that are part of the National Historic Site. There is a public housing unit that Mr. and Mrs. Carter lived in that is not open to the public, but there's a plaque outside of it noting that they stayed there. There's a kind of a cultural landmark. It's a big peanut with a big grin on it, because Jimmy Carter was famous for his grin. And Maranatha Baptist Church, which is Mr. Carter's current church that he attends. Also, you have the hospital in which Mr. Carter was born in. He was the first president of the United States born in a hospital. That is currently today a nursing home. And interestingly enough, Jimmy Carter would be the last president born in a hospital until Bill Clinton. So Reagan and George H.W. Bush were both born at home. Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Donald Trump, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden were all born in hospitals. So there's that interesting note about Carter. So also, I visited Andersonville National Historic Site. And Andersonville National Historic Site is a very moving place. It's a very much a place that takes your breath away because of the horrors that occurred at the prison camp there. There are two parts of the Andersonville National Historic Site. Part of it is the Andersonville National Cemetery, and it is still an active national cemetery. And it's one of the few national cemeteries that is under the direction of the National Park Service and not the Department of Veterans Affairs. Most national cemeteries are under the management of the Department of Veterans fairs, especially active ones, such as Andersonville is. But Andersonville National Cemetery was a very moving place, very much a place of reverence where you get a real appreciation for the sacrifice the military makes. There are 2 Medal of Honor winners who are honored at Andersonville. One of them is interred at Andersonville. He served in the Civil War and was awarded the Medal of Honor for his bravery at the Battle of Gettysburg. But when he died at Andersonville, he had not yet received the commutation for the Medal of Honor. It had not made its way up through the chain of command, and he is interred there at Andersonville. Another one is a gentleman who is not actually interred at Andersonville. His body was never recovered. He died in the Korean War and was awarded the Medal of Honor for bravery in that war. And he's part of a memorial grove where they have people who were MIA or KIA, that they were never really able to recover their bodies from. So he, that was a very moving part of the cemetery. The National Prisoner of War Museum is located at Andersonville, and it honors all prisoners of war of all wars in American history, and really goes through what those men and women suffer, and the legal distinctions of what a POW is. Also, I saw there the prison site, which is what was the prison camp that was active during the Civil War. And the next place that I visited was, on my way home, I visited Franklin Delano Roosevelt State Park, which is in Warm Springs, Georgia, and houses what is called the Little White House. And it was there that Roosevelt would go to Georgia for the warm spring baths that are in the area for treatments for polio, of course, which he was affected with. And just a very moving place. You see the place where Roosevelt died. He was getting a photograph painted of him. He said, "I feel a great headache." They took him into the bedroom, and he succumbed to cerebral hemorrhage a few hours later. So those are some things that you get to experience in Georgia, in just a small area. You go to Warm Springs, you can go to Plains and Andersonville, all in a small area. I visited all 3 of them. I did a day at each of them, took a lot of photos at each, and just generally had a really fantastic time at these sites. So I will see you all again soon, and stay safe.